There are a few games I've spent more than 200 hours with: Skyrim, Baldur's Gate 3, The Witcher, and House Flipper. Yes, I've spent 200 hours of my life renovating and selling virtual houses. The original House Flipper has been one of the most relaxing games I've ever played. The concept is simple: clean up and renovate houses, putting your own interior decorating touches on the home before auctioning it off, hopefully to make a profit. But when I loaded up House Flipper 2 on PS5, I did so with some trepidation. Would the sequel live up to the original? And does it work as well on consoles as PC? When I played the demo of House Flipper 2 on PC last year, I had some concerns that the game was becoming overly complicated. Too much of a replication of the real-world hassle of renovating houses. Thankfully, the team behind the game have taken that feedback and found a good balance in House Flipper 2, refining the tools and graphics from the original game while retaining the chilled-out atmosphere that made the first game so successful. However, House Flipper 2 is not without its issues, many of which relate specifically to playing on consoles, which I'll get to in a minute. But first, let's look at what's new in House Flipper 2. After several DLCs, the original House Flipper toolkit felt bloated with grappling hooks, drones, and building options. In House Flipper 2, this menu has been streamlined to a single wheel, and the game is better for it. One of the best changes is in expanding the use of the flipper tool. Instead of just using it to spam sell, sell, sell on all the junky items in the houses, you can now use it to duplicate items, copy and paste styles, find the same items in the store, and change the style of an item. No more selling and replacing items when you're trying to figure out exactly which window you're looking for. This is particularly useful when renovating ramshackle houses. Fix up one item to the style you want, then copy and paste that style to every door, window, and kitchen cupboard. Of course, not all items can be rescued in these homes, but a lot of them can with a few simple changes. The Dirt minimap has been replaced with Flipper Sense. For the most part, it's a helpful change when you want to see what to sell or put in the trash. But trying to find that last little piece of trash is much harder when the yellow highlight blends into surfaces. My kingdom for the minimap. A combination of these two tools would have been fantastic. House flippers will rejoice in the new bricklaying tool, which allows you to build walls wherever you like. You can get pretty creative with this. Want an outdoor toilet? No problem. Want a new balcony? Easy as. But the bricklaying tool can be a bit finicky on consoles struggling in the 3D environment. When you think you're building a single line of bricks, you'll accidentally send it out for several meters into the air, then have to break it down again. Diagonal surfaces are also an issue here. Many houses have slanted ceilings, which make it difficult to build around. While there are triangular building blocks in the new architectural elements menu, it seems impossible to recreate some of the building surfaces if you accidentally knock them down, like I did. And there are some changes that could be good or bad depending on how you feel about them. No longer can you quickly floor multiple rooms by stretching flooring out in a single click. You'll need to place panels in the same way you tile. In some ways, this allows for much more flexibility around surfaces. You can change the patterns and sizing of tiles and floorboards in a greater variety of colors and options. It's fine in smaller houses, but frustrating when you've got a large footprint to cover. Having painted my office, let me tell you that painting in House Flipper 2 is much more realistic experience than the first game. And the game is better for it. The roller goes on with ease. You can usually see where you've missed a spot except when you're painting white on white. That is frustrating, but it does make a really satisfying painting sound. There's no waiting here for the paint to slick up the columns one by one like in House Flipper 1. Setting paint areas is a welcome addition to avoid painting over things you like, such as wall paneling. It would have been nice to see this area setting ported across to surface installation as well. Sometimes I wanted to limit the tiling to a certain area, but had to tile a line one by one. The color menus have been updated to a greater array of shades from drab to vibrant. If you want to paint your house poo green with purple highlights, you absolutely can. Thankfully, the patterns have also been updated with a variety of modern and classic styles, and again, can be customized to your heart's content. In fact, the level of customization here is one of the highlights of House Flipper 2. No more dated stripes and florals on your curtains unless you so wish. So once you've decorated your beautiful house, it's time to auction it off. Gone are the finicky buyers of the original game. These have been replaced by more anonymous and diverse buyers who will offer you a single price. It is worth upgrading the sales skills in the game to receive more money during the auction. After testing it for myself, it makes a sizable difference to the final price of the house. But I miss the wacky personalities of the original buyers. You know, the lady who demanded art on each wall, the dude who wanted speakers in every room. Room definitions are also gone, perhaps in recognition of the fluid boundaries of the post-pandemic house. You can have an office in a bedroom, a bathroom and a kitchen. It's less about trying to build specific rooms than creating something you would like. But it would also be nice to know what to do to increase the price. In House Flipper, you knew that adding as many bedrooms as you could would increase the price. Here, I'm not so sure. Probably, but I'm guessing. There's also been a little more work done to elaborate on the narratives that were brought in through the DLCs. Each house has an owner and a story behind it. It's not quite unpacking here, but it's nice to know some of that backstory as a motivation for renovating the houses. One of the biggest issues I find in games that have been ported across from PCs to consoles is control. A mouse is designed for precision on a smaller screen. Consoles are often played with joystick controllers on a couch. There's a big difference in the fine motor control you can get with a PS5 controller versus a mouse, and it really shows on House Flipper. The mess in some of the houses is quite small and finicky to pick up. While you can upgrade the trash collection tool to batch collect, you can't upgrade the flipper tool to batch sell. And I know why this is, because you don't necessarily want to sell every item in an area. But it means you need to pick up every little thing, shuffling along the controller joystick millimeter by millimeter as you try to sell a narrow pencil, only to sell the carpet instead. How to get around this, apart from playing it on PC? Well, you might not know that you can actually plug in a keyboard and mouse to a PlayStation 5 USB port. It might not be as practical if you're trying to chill out on the couch, but at least it's less frustrating. I probably would recommend buying this game on PC over and above consoles for this particular issue. To get around this kind of picking up issue would require significant work from the developers in thinking about how the tools could be adjusted to work better on consoles. One of the notable new features in House Flipper 2 is Sandbox mode, which I managed to break in about 2 minutes. Granted, I was trying to break it. I dug myself into a hole I couldn't get out of and then ended up floating in space. When it works, you can create your own houses and share them with the wider community as house flipping projects. Personally, I'm more interested in what other people are making than creating my own houses. These mods add a whole new life to the game after finishing the official tasks, because there are hundreds of creator-made houses to flip. If you're looking for a relaxing game, House Flipper 2 meets the brief of the original while providing a streamlined, upgraded experience. While it will take you several hours to play through the main jobs, there are many more hours to be spent renovating and selling the houses available through the coastal and forest suburbs. I do recommend that you check out House Flipper 2. I really enjoyed the first game, and the second one is a major upgrade on it. I don't know that I'd recommend paying full price for it. As a dedicated House Flipper fan, I was happy to buy it, but I also think that it will come down in price at some point, especially when packages with DLCs come out in the future. Given the worldwide housing crisis, these kinds of houses are out of reach for many people. But for the rest of us, House Flipper 2 provides a relaxing escape to a world where a beachfront shack costs $100,000. I can only dream. If you did like this video, I'm Kat Clay. Please do hit that subscribe button. And thanks so much for watching.